So tonight I want to train on a topic that it is truly one of those gateway topics to the business. And, arguably it is one of those that, really, it sort of falls under inviting people to take a look. So who out there has ever felt like they invite people to a call or they invite people to an event and the people don't show up, or a sip and sample, they don't show up, or they set a meeting, or even a coffee date where they're sitting down and the person cancels on them last minute, right? Like this happens to all of us. It's part of it is the process, but part of it is also edification and the process of the phrase edification. Who knows what edification means? You can throw it in the chat if you know what it means. But I really do. It's something that I want us to focus on a lot, because when we edify, the phrase edification specifically means uplifting a thing or a person as a credible authority or expert. So we're uplifting people in the process of edification. That's what it means. Uplifting a resource or a person as a credible authority or expert. And I want to bring this up because it's one of those like psychological things. And I have one diagram that'll kind of show you as I talk through this. But, we talk about how we create curiosity and we share isogenics, and then we invite people to take a look. And it's like that 1A falling under that as one of the most, I've heard Zach Slobin say that it's like literally he believes one of the top 2 skills in network marketing. And that when you really observe and pay attention to the pros out there, that they're doing it all the time. They're edifying all the time. You'll hear people doing it. You'll hear people uplifting the event, or uplifting the person coming on stage, or uplifting the speaker that's coming to town, or uplifting the person that they're getting them on a 3-way call with. And, it's an art, it's a skill. And I also want to kind of talk through how it relates to a 3-way call to make sure that we're like properly edifying on 3-way calls. Because it separates the good from the great. And so, when you do it more and more frequently, if you're able to artfully edify that thing that you're showing your prospect, because we're just trying to bridge the gap. We're trying to show a solution. And so if we're edifying the thing that is showing the solution for them and bridging that gap, they are more likely to pay attention. They're more likely to care about what you have to say. They're more likely to get on the call. They're more likely to show up for the coffee date or the event, the Super Saturday or the sip and sample, because they feel like, oh my gosh, something is in it for me. And everybody's favorite, who's heard of the phrase? It's kind of a cheesy phrase, but what's everyone's favorite radio station? WIIFM. What's in it for me? People want to know what is in it for them, So we can push our solutions on people all day, but until they feel connected and they feel that the solution or the person or the thing is in it for them, they have a vested interest in listening in on the Wednesday night webinar or getting on the 3-way call and really intently listening. When they feel that thing is of high value to them, they're going to be so much more willing and listen and mark their calendar and not cancel and take it very seriously. And we set the standard in our business. Like, we set the standard for being serious about it and being legitimate about it and treating it like the ballers that we are, honestly, and saying, okay, like, this is important to me. And I always say, Allison, be legit, out there, because then you will find and people will treat you legit about it, right? And so I'm going to share this diagram that I created. I mean, it's a very common sort of diagram. It's not rocket science. Can you guys see that? Okay, I'm assuming yes. Okay. So you can see here, it's called the edification triangle. And so it goes 3 ways. And so all the time, and this also hones in on why 3-way calls, tools, presentations, resources, events are so important, you guys. It's one of those things that helps you understand. So many people, I would say, in this business are staying across this bottom line, left to right, left to right. People do business with people that they know, like, and trust. So when you have that trust factor, you have that likability, they know what you're about, that is awesome. But bringing in that third party, and a big piece of the weekend, this coming weekend at University in Action, is going to cover that. It was my very first aha moment of why a three-way call was so important, was at an event like this. And you could even think about it in the way of, you know, I can tell my kid to put on a jacket, it's cold out, and she won't listen to me. And my sister can say the same thing to her and she'll listen to her, right? Because it's almost like we're too close. It's almost like we have too much trust. It's too relaxed. But she maybe has this level of respect with her auntie, right? And so the thing that you're adding in, if you are properly edifying, is respect. You have respect with the tool, the event, the mentor, the resource. You have trust with your prospect, your person that you want to give Isagenix, pay it forward to, give it as a solution. And so by that, you are creating trust and respect when you properly edify someone. And so when you are inviting, it's not just the invite, it is also bridging the gap between the invitation and why that person should care about the person. So, Diane Gale is on this call, for example. I might be connecting someone with Diane. They perhaps were a nurse. They perhaps have done other network marketing in the cosmetic industry, like Diane. I might say, you know what, I really want you to talk to my friend Diane. She's so health conscious. She is a retired nurse. She also has been doing network marketing for over 18 years. Diane, did I get that right? 18, 20, around there. I know. And, she's done the cosmetic world before. She can tell you why this is so different. She can really pour into you, and she's a busy woman. She's got a lot of things going on, but if I can find some time on her calendar, would you be open to chatting with her? Right? So I'm not just making it seem like Diane is, available at all hours of the day. And like Diane is just, we're at her whim, we're not just at the prospect's whim. You want to keep that almost control of the situation, or else you're going to go crazy. You feel like people are, they're just walking all over you. So, and I'm going to talk the heck out of Diane's strengths and Diane's background and her past and what she's been able to do. And, gosh, Diane she's going to speak so much life into you about this business, and the way, her husband with the products, his results, like, pretend the prospect has a husband looking for results. Gosh, she is going to share that with you. And you're going to find so much value. You guys, I use that phrase all the time. You are going to find so much value. I put it in red here. You're going to find so much value by talking to Diane. If I can get a couple times from Diane over the next few days, I know she's busy, but if I can, would you be open to chatting with her? Who out there feels like they're doing a really good job of this sort of a process? I want to know. Throw it in the chat. And it's okay to like toot your own horn if you're like, I got this. This is totally my game. A lot of us have things that we're like amazing at and then things we're working on. This skill of being able to say, exactly what I just said is an art and it's practice. I could do the exact same thing with Danny Schaefer. Danny and her husband own a gym, and Danny works in healthcare too. And you don't have to work in healthcare to be edified. There's a million, I could do it for all of you guys. But I can say, gosh, Danny works in healthcare. My friend Danny, she is a busy mom. This convenience has helped so much with her little kids. Her husband's in law enforcement, and they own a gym. They own a gym, and they choose to partner with Isagenix, and they believe in the brand with their gym and the performance line and everything that it has brought. And they care about their brand. And so the fact that they've been able to put this in successfully, they're growing a huge team in Rapid City. She's so busy. If I could find some time with Danny, would you be open to chatting with her? Right? And it's going to feel, like it's so easy. And I mean, once you get it down, it's easy and you'll hear it. And if you kind of listen to what different, people are doing as they're edifying, you'll hear it time and time again. I could talk about Michelle being a top producing realtor, and the fact that, even though she's a top producing realtor, she sees this. She sees it for her future. She sees it for her vision. So another realtor, when they hear that, it's not just about me. I'm not just sticking to this bottom line, me and my friend with the trust factor. I'm adding in this top producing realtor. You know, she's clearly busy with real estate, but this is her passion. She sees it as a retirement plan for her. She's rocking it out of the gate. Her skills are just, you know, she's really been able to do a lot in her short time here, you know. And would you be open to chatting with her? Say, you know, Drew, Isabody. I mean, who can't, I send his picture to the people. I'll be like, here, check out this picture. I know you, you know, I know you want to get good results, and my friend Drew. And then, you know, so I'll talk about Drew and, you know, having, not really caring about the gym as much, and, you know, needing to put on some lean muscle, and finding that now he loves working out when he's on vacation even, and he has so much energy, and he's just this guy that you're gonna like. You guys, gathering, this is part of why we build in on Monday nights, like different people's stories, and being able to gather the different stories and leverage the stories of the team so that you can kind of talk through a quick, you know, 10-second edification of anyone that you're bringing on is so key. And, you know, I don't just stop once they're like, oh yeah, I think I could get some time. I really like to add in, you know, you're going to love talking to Drew. He's so approachable. He's so passionate. He's going to really help you see what Isagenix can do for you. And if nothing else, when you leave that call, you will leave with a friend. Like, I don't want them to feel like, you know, oh my gosh, this person is going to be this like hard sell. No, like, you're going to hear his story. He's amazing. He's willing to share some time with you. And when you leave the call, no matter if you say yes or no, you're going to leave with another friend, and you're going to hear, it's like you get that time with him, you know? And that is really the way that we can, and the way that, you know, it's like the pros lead when they're inviting, is through this process of edification. And you can edify. So a lot of my examples were people, mentors, you know, like I can edify Amanda Svensson, and I can throw in that she's made over $3 million in Isagenix in her time, and we went to high school together, and, you know, her husband was in finance before, and, you know, or Kelly and Tyler, I can go there if I want, you know, they make close to $2 million a year. Like, you can too. Like, you can too. If you're on this call, I want to empower you. We have the resources and the access to plug people in where they need to be, have that value provided. So, you know, whether it's a mentor, a tool, you can edify the tools, you know. Oh my gosh, this video, it's only 5 minutes. I really think if you watch it, that you'll hear the person's heart on it, and her story reminds me of you. If I send you the video, could you take just 5 minutes? I think it will answer your questions, and then would happily hop on a call with you after you watch it. Keep that, you know, treat it as you really have the goods. You have the gift. You have this thing that's amazing, and you really do, you know. Same with the event. I mean, I just today sent the event to someone who just started the products recently, and I said, and she's loving it, and I was like, hey, I know it's just this weekend, and I edified the heck out of what she's going to get out of the weekend. What's in it for them, right? Same with if you invite people to a sip and sample or a presentation like a Wellness Wednesday, or if someone, you know, Kathy Coover is presenting with Lindsay Hofber, I don't know the date, maybe, I bet Heidi knows the date. Throw it in the chat if you know the date. But, you know, an optometrist, she's an amazing mom of 2 little girls, and I mean, just, you can edify the heck out of it and say, if I send you the link, will you hop in the webinar, and then we can talk about it, right? I'm gonna check it. I'm gonna look at the chats quick, just because can't do it while I share. Drew, oh my gosh, that's hilarious. My superpower. Yeah, and it's okay to, and it does, you don't even, okay, yes, do not feel that you need to remember every single person's stories. For starters, leverage the group, and it's a process. It's been over 6 years of me collecting stories. And I'm always happy to help you think through my internal Rolodex of who's out there. But, you know, you can for sure also post in the group, listen in, keep a list. Dr. Lindsay Hofber, for example, she writes it all down. You know, she's like, I can't remember all that stuff. You could literally start like a notebook of different, you know, little tidbits and stories, and collect them as you're learning about people, and be like, you know, Drew Bischoff, and then have your little notes, and then create a catalog, you know, Chelsea Word, this is what I do. You know, I mean, Diane Gale, this is what, you know, that would just be, I just thought of that. Like that would be awesome. If that would help you to have it all written down. And I also want to give you permission and empower you to not feel like you need to find the exact match of every story. Because it's sometimes it's like almost analysis paralysis. Like we don't need to be like, okay, I have to find, like I had the example of the nurse doing a cosmetic network marketing company. Sure, would that be amazing? Right. It would fit exactly with Diane. But do I need, if I have a different story and I can sometimes it's just the personality. You're like, you're going to jive with Molly Trelinden. I know it, or you are going to, or practice, you're going to jive with Eunice and you live in the Pacific Northwest, right? Like sometimes that's what creates that connection for us. And you can edify them for their heart and their skills and some of their results so far, or their dreams and their vision of where they're going too. You can edify all of that, And so, yeah, Heidi, edifying ahead of time helps forward speak the awesome experience they're about to have, ease their nerves, set a positive expectation. Yes. And Mary, yes, your inner voice wants to say it all out loud. That is good. I challenge you to do it. I really do. And just, the more you do it, it's one of those things, you rip off the Band-Aid, you will get good at it to the point where it's just like flows out of you and you're like, oh my gosh. But you do want your prospects to feel like you have something almost like a gift. Peter Kelly very early on said, we have a gift and we are paying this little gift forward to people with dreams and people needing solutions. And if you just keep that at the core of your business, Isogenics is a gift to pay forward to people with dreams and people needing solutions. And so when we're edifying people, we are giving them that bridge to really look at what it is and to see if the gift is right for them. And if someone doesn't want it, that's okay. And everything Gretchen trained on last week with being confident, the confident person, she had the different phrases about you can't say the wrong thing to the right person. The most confident person wins. And my favorite Maya Angelou quote about nobody cares what you say or what you do. What they care about is how you make them feel. Those three things all fit with edification too. Edification will help you feel good. It feels good. And it feels good for both parties. And for the expert to be set up with that level of respect and edification, it's going to make them be able to deliver a better three-way call, and I'll get to that in a minute, that setup, but it will help them deliver. Just the whole energy around it will feel so much better. I've had experience with both just from that expert level. Cause the job of the three-way call really lies on the expert in the situation. Not that I'm always the expert at all by any means, but when I am, I've had both sides of that, and it does make a huge difference. And it builds confidence, so that it's that phrase as well, and it allows you to just really speak life into them. So everything Gretchen talked about relates. Heidi, I love edifying others. It's a chance for me to tell both people why they think they're so amazing, how much they're going to love connecting. Yes, and that is where you nailed it, Heidi. It highlights the power of our community. We are not just selling an amazing product, and we are not just selling, period. It is a sale. I'm not going to pretend it's not. I actually, when people say I don't do sales, part of me is like, well, I don't prefer that, because I feel like the sale does occur. But the difference from traditional straight sales is we are building networks. We are building networks. We are building a network of people. And when you are able to connect through edification, you are building that, you're strengthening that network, you're strengthening that team, So, imagine having people connecting who maybe they're not even financially tied, or they're, and you're able to edify them to each other, and then they become running partners, and running the business, helping each other out and mentoring each other. It's a very beautiful thing. So, and I guess that's kind of the last point I wanted to make, is around three-way calls specifically. So when you set up a three-way call, which you guys, they are magic. And part of it is because of edification. Part of it is because of the value the person feels. Part of it is they just have solid roots. They get that extra party, just like, my sister telling my daughter to put on her jacket. It just solidifies the person's decision for doing it. And they can be used, as you know, many people know, they can be used before the person enrolls. They can be used after they enroll as a welcome, open the box call. They can be used when the person wants to earn some money as like a launch your business type call. They can be used when someone needs to get back on track. Maybe they're struggling. It's like a coaching three-way call. I don't like to wait for that one because I feel like I like to do them way in advance, so we're not getting to the damage control part, but they can be used there. Some people will naturally get there, so they can be used there for sure. You know, and they're very, very powerful in all of those ways. So, you know, once you get the prospect to say, yeah, sure, I'll do it, then you get the experts few time frames. Yeah, or Becca, exactly what you're saying. You know, easy way to set it up, start a message thread. I'm totally good with that. Scheduling. And then when you are setting up the call, it's your chance to like that. Have you ever been on a three-way call and you get two people on and you're not sure what to do, right? Because we have to train, we have to learn what to do. And when you get them on the three-way call, the best thing is to take that time to edify both parties, to Heidi's point. You know, like I would get on a call, and I mean, I did get Diane on a call with Gretchen back when she was starting, because they're both nurses, and, you know, being able to say, hey, Diane, this is my friend Gretchen, blah, 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 tell her, edify Gretchen. And Gretchen, this is my friend Diane, she's loving the products, boom, 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 tell her it all. So you're going to collect stories by doing three-way calls too. You're going to edify people, they're going to feel good, they're going to make that connection. Chelsea, exactly, Lindsay Hofber, totally unrelated. She's the one presenting at corporate, and she did that call for you, and it helped solidify, right? It helps solidify a lot for you. So they are very powerful. It is an art. I feel like that might be what I have related to it. But yeah, I mean, really to just do the three-way call and then to really say, you know, a piece about their heart and their compassion, and that you'll gain a friend no matter what, you know, really confidently, and to say, if I hold a spot for you, can I count on you being there? That's like a sip and sample or an event, or if I could get you, you know, to attend, would you? Once again, same exact sort of things. You make the joke that even if you didn't, you would want to be friends with Lindsay forever, so you would order. See? Yeah, you made a friend, and you did want to order, and you're doing awesome. So, that is really what I have for you guys tonight. I'm going to pause for questions or added comments or anything people want to say. But I just wanted to kind of walk through that process because I think it deserves its own call. Anything? AJ, awesome. Yeah, so I'm going to challenge you guys to go do it this week, and notice this weekend, if you're at UIA or next time you're around a bunch of ISA peeps, just notice it and practice it. You know, you can even practice it when you're introducing your husband to some unrelated to isogenics. I mean, you can practice edification and be like, oh, that's edification. You know, you're uplifting someone to kind of show their value. So I hope that was helpful, and I am very pumped to see everyone this weekend who is going to be here. If you're not going to be here, we'll miss you. I did throw a post in Everyday Rockstars for Saturday night hangout down at the hotel restaurant. So comment on that if you haven't. If you are planning to hang out, I'm going to get a rough estimate for reservation. So hope you all have a good night. I'm so glad I was helpful, you guys. I truly am. So excited to see everyone soon, and I hope you all have an amazing night. Bye, guys.